Hello and welcome back to Chasing the Target. In this episode, we'll be reviewing the India and West Indies T20 World Cup match. We'll have a look at the England New Zealand Test Series as well, and whatever cricket you want to discuss, we can discuss. But a great win for India, comfortable in the end. There was a few hiccups here and there, but they won by 6 wickets. Captain Harmanpreet stepping up to the plate, and Richa Ghosh validating that big paycheck she got in the WPL. Another very mature innings. With me is my co-host, Mr. Faiz Tahir. How you doing, bro?
Hmm. I'm doing good. I was just going to the match of the PSL, and your boys lost on today. The PSL लास्ट का नहीं देख रहा था
Yeah,
मैं
yeah,
अभी
yeah.
वही देख रहा था मैंने कहा पूरे पिंडे में मिल गया
But,
boys. शान
that
मसरत
was
कल इंग्लिश
shocking.
बात करके
Hafiz
आउट हो
was
गया.
batting at it. I don't know what was happening, bhai. Hafiz was batting at it.
हाँ
But for
हाफिजू
India,
का ले लेके आए थे. हाफिजू कहाँ से की ले लेके आए कल कुछ हुआ गिप्सी आई थिंक some scam number 1992 कुछ हुआ but yeah I mean it was a comfortable victory for the girls today I think मतलब girls ऐसा बोल रहे थे मेरे बच्चे हैं लेकिन
आपके ही थे
overall
भाई. आपके ही
Yeah.
थे बच्चे.
नहीं भाई आशीष भाई की एक ही है और रोहित सबकी है लेकिन I think yeah it was an easy victory. It didn't look like at any point of time they were worried. There were a few hiccups, but I think again like we saw in the Pakistan game, I think they have a good temperament in these kind of chases that you see them with ease they're able to sort of move away the pressure and just focus on the cricket and they just don't get hounded by the how many balls are left, how many runs are left. They just play their game and they sort of reach the target that is required. And I think that's what important. And Harmanpreet with her experience and stuff. And Richa, we know she's a fantastic finisher. We've already spoken about that yesterday. That she was given quite a lot of money, but definitely she is an amazing finisher of this game.
Yeah, no, I think I completely agree over there. With the bowling wise, of course, there are still holes you want to plug, especially in the middle overs. But the way they came back, I think, was very good because West Indies got off to a very good start. It was a good partnership brewing over there. But the way India pulled things back, Deepti Sharma,
Yeah, 2 wickets
a
in an
really,
hour.
and she came back. If you saw in the Pakistan game, she was the most expensive, I think, 4 overs 39. But she worked on her game, came back, and it shows that very mentally strong, and she has the skill, the talent, and yeah, great bowling. Ashish in the house, thank you for joining. कब start होगा? Let's go, let's get in there, get in there. Now back to back wins for India. चिराग भाई, आप last time change कर दिए? Bhai sting
Yeah.
operation. Yeah, how am that's a joke to me, man. Like that guy needs to get sacked. Chetan Sharma, I don't know what was happening. मेरे को अभी तक समझ में नहीं आया वो sting. I think it's just like कुछ भी like लीक करना है, कुछ भी करना है तो करो, get be in the news. I didn't understand it. Like the only thing that which was a bit controversial that he said was the injections thing, but that's also like whatever, man. Otherwise, like yeah, I didn't really understand. Virat Kohli
I
and
mean,
Saurav Ganguly didn't see eye to eye. We already knew that, bro. Like, come on, बच्चे थोड़ी है भाई, huh?
नहीं बिल्कुल आई थिंक गंगुली और विराट का तो बहुत एविडेंट था दैट गंगुली डिडंट वांट हिम एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट एंड but the injection thing is actually a very serious point if you actually think about it given the fact of I know it is an easy counter to that where we can say that Rohit Sharma has been out of action in the 2 years. He's only played like 3 tests or something and he does तो उन्हें तो injection clearly ले रहा नहीं. Bumrah despite taking the Bumrah despite taking injections he's not able to be prolonging through entire series. That's again bogus. Virat Kohli, he's one of the most fittest players. We know what he does in the gym. We know that he keeps himself well maintained. So there's no question around that. It hasn't exploded to what amount I thought it would have. Considering that the names have been circulated and stuff, but इतना ज़्यादा भी blowout नहीं हुआ ये story.
Yeah, I mean, like, because there was not much like contact. I mean, there was not much to it. Like, yeah, he said a few things. And look, if you're talking about if it was actually that thing, India would be winning every single World Cup if it was those kind of injections and like what we're thinking. जो उन्हें कौन सा show था यार वो मेरा favorite अभी जो Amazon पे
Coffee with Karan.
इनसाइड एज में जो
हाँ,
यूज करते हैं वो टीम
अच्छा. Yeah, yeah.
हंड्रेड की जो टीम यूज करते हैं,
हाँ हाँ
तो
हाँ.
उन लोग तो पूरा जीत गए राइट, जो
Yeah.
आईपीएल था वो सीजन में, तो वैसा होना चाहिए. सो आई डोंट लाइक सी मच पावर टू इट. आई थिंक इफ ओनली like this guy's job is now gonna go because he's like Hardik and Rohit, whatever talks they've had with him, he's exposed it in front of like, who did he talk to? I don't understand. Zika sting operation है, मगर कौन है वो बंदा Zika? मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा. If it's a stranger, then that's so stupid. It's not a sting operation. If it's someone that he knew, like from before, then I understand. Otherwise, I don't understand. Like this was there was
इन्हें
another.
उसमें मैंने
Remember?
उसमें आपने तारीफा भी कर लिया थोड़ा कि मैं स्काई को लाया, ईशान किशन को लाया, इसको लाया, उसको लाया. अपेरेंटली वो भी लाइक चेतन शर्मा वाज supposedly telling the sting operation guy कि he got all of these guys into the mix वरना. But if you think about it, prior to this guy, after he left also Surya Kumar was playing in the T20, like he was there when Chetan Sharma अब वापस आया. एक साल पहले अगर आप देखो, 2 साल पहले देखो तो सूर्य कुमार was there. So I mean, there are a lot of things that you saying like Shuman Gill को भी मेला आया था. I mean, that's just bogus talk. I think ZTV has made. I think
जाता
ZTV
है नहीं
ने
सकता.
कहीं
मुश्किल है
हाँ
उसको.
इन्हें भी इन्हें नहीं जाता होगा लग रहा, बट वो जी को तो आई थिंक एक बड़े ही ब्लो पड़ने वाली है मेरे हिसाब से.
No, maybe that's 100%. He's not going to, because you're saying you're leaking things which are like should be within the team. Whether we know it or we don't know it.
विराट कोहली और रोहित शर्मा के बारे में बात करें. He said विराट कोहली and रोहित शर्मा they're not like there's no fight within them, but it's like an ego problem. Like you see Amitabh Bachchan and Dharmender in Bollywood, वैसा कुछ situation. Man, Amitabh Bachchan and Dharmender, like man, I don't know. I will not that back in the day, but
Bro,
yeah.
the thing is, I just think they had like a argument during that India New Zealand semi final. Uske baad they're normal, like they're on the pitch, they always together back each other. Rohit Sharma lifted Virat Kohli, if you remember, after that
Yeah,
Pakistan game.
exactly.
वो
Yeah,
पहले से इंजरी
exactly.
प्रॉब्लम है, उन्हें जाके उसको लिफ्ट कर दिया, तो लाइक
और
on the field
सैंडविच भी
was
नहीं था जब तो. और गुस्से में था.
but yeah, let's get back to the women's cricket. From India's point of view, again, like they've lost the toss twice now, and they bowled first. And on pitches where it's slow, it's conducive to the spin bowlers. It's helping the
Yeah.
faster bowlers as well. You see the odd crack over there, but they've done well to chase, because first of all, you're restricting to a decent score, and then you're chasing, holding your nerve. I think the Pakistan chase was even more tougher, but because you had
Yeah.
more runs on the board. But
Yeah.
this was also a very good display of batting.
मेरे हिसाब से even if you see the pitch, it was a little green. There were cracks also on the pitch, but there were also green patches. You could see Watsakar, she had a lot of good bounce in her bowling.
What
काफी
is this behavior, Pooja?
yeah, Pooja was behaving like she was bouncing the ball nicely, and sort of giving the batsman a hard time. I know Ashish is going to come very soon. But yeah, she also bowled a phenomenal spell, gave away, like, I think she bowled a maiden over as well.
Extra
Yeah,
bounce, yeah.
I think
That
the
was
discipline. Renuka struggled with her line and length. I think she was bowling two outside off at times, two leg sides. She was not able to get the rhythm in line. But Deepti Sharma's over totally changed the complexion of the West Indian batting. 2 wickets in an over, and yeah, I think she's phenomenal. And I think that's just the discipline that these girls are showing in terms of each department. Even in the chase prior that we saw Pakistan, it was tougher. It was like 44, 84 of like a 54 or 44, something like that. लेकिन आप देखो जिस maturity से ना दोनों bat करे, जमाइमा and Richa, they just went on about their business. They didn't get hindered कि भाई run rate क्या है, ये क्या है, बस और ball दिख रहा है मारो, या at least rotating the strike. That was what was important for me, that they kept rotating the strike, they kept changing side and stuff, and that was what sort of helped them to get the victory. And like today as well, not a lot of runs on the board, but yeah, little bit थोड़ा slow हो गए थे बीच में, but yeah.
मगर मैं दो चीजें बोलना चाह रहा था. एक, Deepti spell was the game changing one, because if you see the other spinners, actually they got a bit of stick, like Rajeshwari also, like her economy was 7.5, and who else bowled? Radha Yadav, she went
Yadav,
like 8
yeah.
runs in the over, and Devika Vaidya also 2 over 16. So if you look at it, it was Deepti who was the game changer. The spinners, I think you want a bit more from them. You want them to at least keep it tight if you're not picking up wickets. And then from the batter's perspective, that Shefali Verma, the starts that she's giving, these are match defining starts. Right now it looks like bhai unne 20 run 30 run mari, magar jo run rate ke sath mari, if there are a few wickets in the middle, which will happen on tough pitches, she because of the start she's giving, it's taking the pressure off the middle order batters, whether it's Richa Ghosh, whether it's Harmanpreet, Jemima Rodriguez, it's taking the pressure off. So those starts are very underrated, because ये pitches पे आप देखो वेस्ट इंडीज का मैच, पाकिस्तान का मैच, उन लोग के ओपनर्स उठा लो, शिफाली का स्ट्राइक रेट उठा लो, it's a huge difference.
Yeah, and that obviously, like you said, it eases the pressure. And chase, obviously you need that for 30 40 from the top order batsman, at least one of them. Minus Smriti is coming back from an injury, थोड़ा उसको जान देते हैं आशीष आपके लिए, थोड़ा बहुत उसके ऊपर रहम कर देंगे.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's definitely a very good factor. And considering the amount of cricket she's been playing consistently, man, this girl doesn't get tired, huh? वो अंडर 19 पूरा जिता के खेली अभी अभी फिर
Hmm.
ये पूरा
She's
टूर्नामेंट
young,
खेल के
19.
she's
Like
young, yeah,
she's
but it is a touring thing, right? Like you're playing so much cricket, and
Hmm.
it's not like इतना ज्यादा break भी है back to back की थोड़ा बहुत ये 2020 है बोल के back to back
Yeah.
खेलते. But I think
Talent
yeah,
phenomenal रही है जो ऑफसाइड से निकालती बॉल whether it's a cut or a drive is just incredible man. She's just outstanding talent and on pitches like these to play shots like that is risky and she got out as well playing a shot that sweep shot went straight to the fielder. She'll be kicking herself for that shot but in general though the starts that she's giving on these kind of wickets is not easy. That's what I mean like
yeah, 100%.
चिराग भाई बोल रहे हैं जनता बनता है भाई. Things are confidential. I don't think you are allowed to discuss these to anyone. He should be out. अब
जानना.
तक action लेना yeah sorry.
Hmm.
अब तक action ले लेना चाहिए था वैसे. And also I don't know if this was planned but not planned. They're saying sting operation. मेरे को तो like बहुत weird दिखा वो. नहीं जा
अब
रहा
इतने
भाई.
लेवल पे अब अपने इतने लेवल पे जब होता चिराग भाई, आई थिंक जानना तो बनता है, बट आई थिंक पहले इंटरनल डिस्कशन होता है एंड देन वो मीडिया का एक प्रेस रिलीज होता है, एक प्रेस नोट बनता है कि भाई हाउ यू वांट टू से इट आउट इन द मीडिया. ऑब्वियसली अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स विल बी हिडन. He should ideally be out based on the him talking about his team like that behind their back, so whatever behind closed doors. I get it. It was an informer. You confided in that person, but you're the chairman of the, you're the chief selector of this PCCI, and you need to have a little bit of more thought process before you lay out facts like these. And I think it will take some time. They're just probably going to go through the footage and pura Z walon ke saath milke julke. BCCI is not a small company, and yeah, they'll probably get out the facts
And
more on the table.
he's probably like regretting it that like it didn't even make that much like thoda bahut headline hua after that we forgot about it like it's not
How do you,
that.
how do you go to work? Tomorrow, how do you go back to work?
Yeah,
अभी
he
तुम
cannot sit in a meeting with Rohit Sharma and Hardik Pandya anymore. I don't think you can
how
do
do you
that.
go
Like
back to work?
you
Exactly.
उन लोग जो confidential बातें like आप disclose कर दे रहे हैं किसी को भी like they're not going to trust. They're the captain, vice captain of the team. They're not going to be like comfortable with you in the team selection now. Whether it's for the next series or definitely the World Cup, he's not going to be there for sure. जा रहा हूँ ना मैं.
Yeah.
I'll be very surprised. I don't think the players themselves will want him anymore, especially with what happened. Pooja making it hard.
Am I
Yep.
am I were very clever? पढ़े थे अपन.
Oh yeah. G.
Yeah, MI are very clever. Haman has the highest success rate in the previous women's IPL team, which has three teams.
Look, the thing is, MI were going for Smriti Mandana. They didn't get her, so they
Hmm.
went for the next like
Best
Harmanpreet.
thing,
I think everyone wanted Smriti, like especially like these two teams.
Bangalore.
And the
Yeah,
second option for either team was going to be Harmanpreet. For me, it's a good call because if she does win this World Cup, your branding marketing will be next level anyway because she's the winning captain. We all know what happened with Dhoni when he won 2007. Yeah, Harmanpreet is older now. I think she's 32, 33, whereas MS was 26, 7 when that happened. But like it's just for this season, it will be an incredible, marketing strategy if you have the women's World Cup captain in your team. So
yeah,
yeah.
100%. It will happen.
Shefali didn't give time to players like Jamin Harman. Exactly, that was my point. Ayer आ गया टीम में सूर्या की जगह आएगा केएल ड्रॉप नहीं होगा गिल को मौका नहीं मिल रहा है. Ayer तो I think will walk in. He'll play at 5. He seems fit, तो वो तो खेलेगा. And KL Rahul को एक और टेस्ट मैच तो मिलेगा कम से कम. He will play the second test match in Delhi. That's what I think. शुभमन गिल को मौका मिलेगा भाई, आप टेंशन मत लो. अभी उन्हें 22, 23 था, उन्हें ही है आपका नेक्स्ट.
अब कल से थोड़ा और क्लैरिटी मिल सकती है. कल अगर प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस होती है तो कल से थोड़ा क्लैरिटी मिलेगा पिच में क्या दिख रहा है. पिच के हिसाब से शायद अगर अपन देख रहे then I guess it's probably Surya out and Iyer in, and I don't know why, I just feel probably they'll drop KL Rahul. I have a very big hunch that
could
Gill
be, but
deserved it.
It could be, but I don't think they'll give him another test. And then, and they've only announced a squad for 2 tests, so we'll
Yeah,
have another squad announcement for the 3rd and 4th, and then I'm sure we'll see changes if KL doesn't perform in this test match. We'll see changes. He'll get the axe, and the pressure will be on the other batters as well. Whether it's Pujara, Virat Kohli, these guys will be under the scanner as well. They won't get dropped, but the pressure will be on them.
the only way KL Rahul की जगह बच सकती है is, if they're gonna assess it based on the top 4, and the top 4 में से only one guy performed, Rohit Sharma. Apart from that, they dropped. So maybe वर्स्ट आप बोल सकते हैं कि अरे भाई इन्ना भी नहीं परफॉर्म करे तो फिर फिर कोहली पे भी सवाल उठ सकते हैं, फिर पुजारा पे भी सवाल उठ सकते हैं, विच इज नॉट फेयर बिकॉज मैं केएल राहुल को बांग्लादेश के टेस्ट से देख रहा हूँ, एंड कोहली ऑब्वियसली, बट कोहली का नंबर 3 स्पॉट कोई फिल नहीं कर सकता।
I'm not getting into
बट
this
या
again. I have something to say, but I'm not getting it. England have announced the starting 11 for the first test against New Zealand. Yeah, we have to see also will weather permit. There was an earthquake in New Zealand as well, I think, after the cyclone, right? After the,
there were
I think
cyclone
India.
reports. I don't know about the earthquake part.
I was reading something 5.7 on the Richter scale. There was an earthquake just a few hours ago or something, if I'm not mistaken. So, but that was the game is in Mount Mangai, I think, and this was near Wellington, the earthquake. So I think it won't affect, but there is still rain on the forecast on the radar, and it'll be a curtailed game. It looks like very green pitch. Not been prepared, hasn't seen sun,
Bounce.
only seen one day of sun, so it's going to swing a lot. I think the first couple of days. इंग्लैंड का डे टेस्ट नाइट टेस्ट में तेज खेला मुश्किल लगता है, स्पेशली इफ द बॉल स्टार्ट्स मूविंग अराउंड। मुश्किल तो रहेगा, मगर फिर इक्वली न्यूजीलैंड के लिए भी रहेगा मुश्किल। तो अगर आप जल्दी मार लिया रन 180 और फिर न्यूजीलैंड को आप 120 में भी ऑल आउट कर सकते हैं, अगर वैसा सोचे तो। दैट्स हाउ बेन स्टोक्स इज गोना लुक एट इट। ही इज गोइंग टू बी aggressive from ball one. If they lose, they lose. I don't think he's worried about it. He's going to play a similar way. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's depending on the rain and the conditions and everything. We'll see, but it looks like it's going to be a curtailed game.
Yeah, क्या होता कि I hope it is you get certain some action at least, वरना बारिश वाले साइक्लोन के साइंस तो बहुत ज्यादा है। Even I think it was today that article, I think they were saying by the weather will be a very big spoil sport. No doubt about that. So there's gonna be signs of rains and stuff as well.
देखिए बीच में खड़े रह के पोस्ट कर रहे थे हम लोग। It was
बीच
beautiful.
में यार हो
They
हाँ, वहाँ
went through
चिच्चा
like
का
the mountain.
एक चिच्चा का पेड़ भी दिख रहा है उधर पीछे।
Yeah, they went through the mountain or something like that, and they did the trophy presentation
They
there on the
always do
beach.
they always do these kind of weird trophy presentations in New Zealand. Even when Hardik Pandya was there for that series, वो साइकिल
Yeah,
पे
वो
करके कर
कार्ड
रहे थे
पे
दोनों। तो
साइकिल पे,
आई
हाँ।
थिंक कुछ है न्यूजीलैंड के कल्चर को एक्सप्लोर कर रहे हैं क्या है
But a
कि बट
beautiful
या
place,
चलो।
man. जाना वहाँ पे मैच देखने, it's very nice. It looks really good on TV. Yeah, but for you, man of the match in this game, it'll be
I
Deepti.
think yeah, Deepti Sharma without a doubt, yeah, 100%. That game changer for over has yeah, Deepti Sharma all the way.
From West Indies point of view, I really feel bad for Stephanie Taylor. She came back after a long injury, 42 of 40. She batted really well. She set up, a good platform for the team. And then, fielding, she injured. That's, I think, is the same injury. She got stretchered off. So I hope that she feels better. But that's like, always heartbreaking when you're coming
Sad
back from
side.
an injury. And she's like one of the senior players there. So she'll be very upset with that. And hopefully, wishing a speedy recovery for her. But also the captain Haley Matthews, there will be pressure on her. She with the bat also didn't really perform with the
Yeah,
ball. She bowled well. I felt with the ball she was
got
good.
yeah, she got
If
one
she, her
wicket,
dad
got
was
one
there.
goal.
We are right behind the like on top, but behind the bowler's arm, watching her today. So she bowled well, but batting wise, you would like more
More
input from
from
her.
her, yeah. Yeah, 100%. Even bowler करिश्मा क्या था करिश्मा का करिश्मा बुला रहा हूँ तो उसका तो but yeah her also 2 wickets for like a very nice economical thing with West Indies. Well, I think that partnership that they had going, it just got too slow from Taylor and Campbell. I mean, it looked like they were set, but they were just not able to expand their wings and get the boundaries. The fielding was a bit tight from India. They were diving around as well. So I mean, his upset, they just took too much time and couldn't find boundaries. And just if they got like 134, 140, it would have been at least a bit more challenging.
Yeah.
Uh, मेरे हिसाब से I think India fielded well and they just managed to get those 2 wickets that Deepti got were actually the partnership entirely. She broke it herself. So that's why she's my man of the match, and I think West Indies just have to work a bit more on like थोड़ा और तेज पावर प्ले में ज्यादा रन निकालना था।
Yeah, I agree because like if you get out, फिर वो pressure आ जाता middle order पे, and it's not easy to get in and start hitting from ball one यहाँ पे. Like in these
Exactly.
pitches, it is a
Turning wicket
challenge.
है तो and it has been that well. Fast bowling तो भी West Indies have a good knack, but like turning जरा मुश्किल है। भाई आपने बोला आमिर रिवेंज लेगा बाबू से, लेकिन अरे बॉबी है भाई, साई भाई मैं
बिल्कुल
बोल रहा हूँ
बिल्कुल,
बॉबी
मैं बोला था
अंडररेटेड
मैं
है।
देखिए स्ट्रीम में मैं बोला था निर्वेलने का, और उल्टा हो गया भाई, क्या खबर ट्राई
शान मसूद का पैंट उतार के दे दिया शान मसूद को, गुस्सा करे बॉबी भाई। आई मीन लेकिन भाई शाही भाई अगर आप मैच देख के इतना लाइक डॉजी था भाई ये पीएसएल में, तो मैं कल रात में इतना हंसा बैठ के भाई वहाब रियाज कैच छोड़ा, फिर उसके बाद वहाब रियाज नो बॉल डाला, फिर खुर्रम आके नो बॉल डाला। बोला ये क्या है भाई, इसलिए इनसाइड है जैसे शोज बन रहे हैं हमारे पास के भाई, ये इंस्पिरेशन यहाँ से आ रही है। मतलब
But
शान
bro,
मुस्तफा will actually batting well, no doubt,
bro, if
but like
like, wouldn't it be cool if you're Babar Azam, the team that you played for, you're playing in their backyard, full stadium. Two guys have already talked shit about you, and
yeah.
far cover drive by cover drive. Then in the field, you're the captain, and you won the game in the last over. That's a cool feeling.
And no, coolest feeling is when he was shaking hand with him, Shahan Masood's head was like jhuka hua, khamush.
Man, also got
You
Imad
know,
Wasim.
sorry, Iman Wasim. Who was the
Imad
guy who
Wasim.
speaks English? Iman
Imad
Wasim.
Wasim. They both speak English. They both speak English. You're talking about the captain, right, of Karachi?
Yeah, the
Yeah, इमाद
captain,
वसीम,
captain.
इमाद वसीम, शान
Yeah,
मसूद
Iman
नहीं।
Wasim.
इमाद वसीम को भी बहुत पीटे।
जैनब के साथ इंटरव्यू में आया था, that's all I can say.
इमाद वसीम को भी बहुत पीटे थे, उन्हें भी बहुत बोला था बाबर, like indirectly he said कि now we have match winners, and to a certain extent it looked like he was being right, like Shoaib Malik out of his skin he batted yesterday, very good
Yeah.
batting by Shoaib Malik. Imad Wasim himself, he stepped up to the plate, his strike rate is I think 170, but it was Cadmore's innings which made the difference in the end. So
Iman played well, but like for me, I think yeah, Babar was like I think that last over was really important who to give it to, and then मतलब इतने चीज लगा कि भाई वहाब रियाज वहाँ कैच ड्रॉप करा,
बच गया उन्हें एंड में, like
जेम नीशन कैच ड्रॉप करा, फिर 3 नो बॉल आ गए, शोएब मलिक भी उसको कुछ इन्हें भी बच गया। मतलब ये क्या है यार, इतना ड्रामा तो नहीं हो सकता, और इट वाज लुकिंग लाइक weird, and Inzamam and Darren Sam and all of these guys are just joking around. पूरे बैठे लड़पने कर रहे थे।
Multan have made
Multan,
light work of Quetta today, beating them by
yeah,
9 wickets. Quetta batting lineup was confusing. Hafiz was
yeah.
batting at 8. Yeah, that's what I mentioned. I don't know why he came at 8. They just picked him up a couple days ago, I think. Still, I like that Quetta team. Will back them, and hopefully they improve from this. But it was a shocking start, man. That's all I can say. इंडिया में कौन सा चैनल पे आएगा ये न्यूजीलैंड वर्सेस इंग्लैंड? फैज आप बता सकते हैं?
मेरे को देखना पड़ा 6:30 इतना मालूम मुझे, बट आई थिंक इट्स गोना बी ऑन सोनी 10 मोस्टली, नॉट स्टार, या तो
सोनी
सोनी पे
स्पोर्ट्स
होगा,
नेटवर्क अभी वो नया भी चल
या
रहा है, जियो नहीं, धन धना धन
या
वहां पे भी आ
जियो भी
सकते
है, या आई गेस धंधना पे मोटा भाई के ऊपर है, उनका मूड के ऊपर है, तो बट आई डोंट नो, आई थिंक इट शुड बी दैट।
हैं। PSL
हाउ
they're
डिड
showing on
वेस्ट इंडीज
Sony,
विन?
right?
How did, yeah, PSL they're showing on a Jio, I think it was Jio or something like that, yeah.
भाई यार, अगर इंडिया 3-0 से जीत जाती है तो 4 टेस्ट में फास्ट ट्रैक बना दे, वो WTC की तैयारी के लिए सही रहेगा। मगर अहमदाबाद में फास्ट ट्रैक में ऐसा मेरे को डाउटफुल दिख रहा है। आई डोंट थिंक होने वाला है। दे लुक टू विन एवरी सिंगल गेम बिकॉज द थिंग इज, लुक अब इंडिया जीत गए, बट यू हैव टू टेक दैट आउट ऑफ द इक्वेशन नाउ।
Out of the
यू कांट से
equation,
भाई
yeah,
आराम से जीत, बिकॉज यू कांट अफोर्ड टू लूज टेस्ट मैचेस इन दिस सीरीज। यू हैव टू विन
exactly,
ऑलमोस्ट एवरी सिंगल
बिल्कुल।
गेम। अगर
और
आप
इतना, yeah,
अगर आप सेकंड टेस्ट भी
तो
जीत गए आराम से, आप थर्ड भी लाइट नहीं ले सकते, बिकॉज टू
नहीं
वन
ले
टू टू इज
सकते,
ऑल्सो नॉट इन योर फेवर। यू हैव टू विन 3-0 3-1। तो उस हिसाब से आई फील दैट इंडिया हैव टू बी टेक इट गेम बाय गेम, सेशन बाय सेशन। दैट्स लाइक ऑनेस्टली इन दिस सीरीज दे हैव टू बी केयरफुल, बिकॉज विद
yeah.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया यू नेवर नो, एक मैच भी जीत गए तो फिर आप पे प्रेशर अलग ही आ जाता। सो दैट्स व्हाई यू हैव टू बी वेरी क्लिनिकल इन दिस सीरीज।
Yeah, 100%, and I think वही है कि भाई the WTC on the line is the most important thing, and knowing that Sri Lanka can come from the other side, that's also another factor, and just take it test by test, day by day, like the great Ravi Shastri says, it's a session by session issue with test matches. You just win the session, you don't think about the test. I think session by session is jana.
Yeah.
And man, अभी दिल्ली में knowing Australia's ego in terms of cricketing ego, I don't mean as players or individual, but they will definitely want to come back stronger, and Smith नहीं छोड़ता यार, चिकट।
Yeah. So yeah, even that's what I'm saying. अगर उन लोग हार भी गए फिर से ऑस्ट्रेलिया, आप लाइट नहीं ले सकते तीसरा और चौथा टेस्ट। यू हैव टू बी ऑन द फ्रंट फुट बिकॉज मार्जिन आपको 3-0 या 3-1 से जीतना है। सो फ्रॉम दैट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू यू कांट
I think if this gets to a draw, then there'll be a lot of pressure on India.
yeah, there will be 100%. Even I'm a bit
100%.
Arsenal versus City today at the
Yeah.
Emirates. It's going to be a packed stadium. The top two teams battling it out.
ये देखो, ये comment छोड़ दे रहा बंदा, Imad played better. I played better. Who won the match, bro? Beat town,
He played
baby.
better. I also agree.
Yeah,
The
we
striker.
smashed
But
it. We
I
smashed
also
it.
agree with the Fez key, like who won the match, and also Cadmore was the guy, bro. It wasn't. It
Yeah,
was
90
Cadmore.
runs. Cadmore's
Cadmore.
90 was impeccable.
Shout out to Vinay.
Crazy.
Vinay told me about him like last year. Last year I brushed it off kind of, but he's a really good player. Since then I've been watching him, and he's done well in other tournaments also.
ILT 20 also he was there, no? In the ILT 20 also he had a few good innings.
Caddy.
Poor captaincy. Poor captaincy from Babar saves of Sri Lanka instead of 30 for 3 run. It becomes a near. But yeah, I mean, it is not. I won't say it's poor captaincy. What is he going to do, man? He gave it to that Rishad guy. उन्हें क्या गंदा पिटा. और सड़ी सूरत लेके कर ले रहा था उन्हें खाली. I think if you saw his face, if I was the captain, I'd just smack him on the face.
No, there's
चार
two
डाल
things.
outside of stump. And then the
There's two
last
things.
over में खुर्रम भाई नो बॉल डाल के घुटने पे मार खा लिया यार.
मैं मानता हूँ उसके पास इनएक्सपीरियंस है बॉलिंग लाइनअप, ओके, उसकी बॉलर्स उतने खास नहीं है, मगर आप एशिया कप भी ले लो, दैट इज आल्सो अ पॉइंट. सो आई एग्री विद हाफ ऑफ दिस कमेंट कि भाई this guy has a tendency when you have the opposition on the back foot, आप like वापस लेके आ जाते गेम में. At that time, he had incredible bowlers. This time, he had a weak bowling lineup. Magar problem to wahi hai, right? And he has to work from that. Babar's captaincy, I always had a problem with his batting. I don't have an issue. You can talk about his strike rate and all that, but like he's like he plays with like whatever ability, especially when he hits those cover drives, they're outstanding. But captaincy, he's always been dodgy for me. I've been saying this since that semi-final against Australia when he lost his.
But
shit,
even like the Karachi wicket was not that, like there was nothing in it. Like it looked like one level is like a batting pitch and stuff. So I think.
But I think Ashi is saying from like just past games, not just that game. I agree with you. Yesterday, if you take in isolation, then yeah, he didn't have that attack. That was
Karachi is a road, bro. We know Karachi very well. Very well.
If India wins 2, the only possibility for India to be out is that Sri Lanka wins 2-0 against New Zealand, which is not possible, guys. But you don't want to
No, you never
put
know.
it in
Yeah,
the
you never want to. Yeah, man. 100%.
I never thought India winning 2-1
And I think it was
the Gabba would be possible, but it was possible. You don't want to put it in their hands.
Yeah, and Ibrahim Bhai said also it might start turning in New Zealand. You never know, and then that'll be like good for Sri Lanka. So I don't know, man. I would
Bro,
never.
also Bangladesh, they won their first test last year in New
Last
Zealand.
year,
It was 2-1
exactly.
in the end, I think.
Yeah.
Agar Sri Lanka win that first game, फिर हल्लक में आ जाता. You don't want to take that chance. You have to keep it in your hands right now. And
if there is a possibility of KL Rahul playing each match, then there's a possibility of Sri Lanka. Chirag Bhai just saying. So yeah.
KL राहुल तुम लोग बहुत करते रहे कह रहा था कैमर इंग्लैंड T20 में आएगा लग रहा है. हाँ बात तो सकता है भाई,
बिल्कुल आ सकता है. एंड या आईपीएल का भी कुछ नहीं मिला उसका लाइक या इतना नाम नहीं हुआ होगा मे बी, बट या आई थिंक अभी मे बी वन मोर गुड डोमेस्टिक सीजन इन अ T20 circuit and he's going to get himself an IPL contract.
Yeah, the same thing happened with Harry Brook, right? Like he last year he was killing it in the PSL and everything. They didn't really take him in the IPL, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember him going to any team, and now he's in the IPL. He's playing for the Sunrisers. So I'll give him another year or so. You'll see him if he consistently performs. Then you'll see him for sure. Cadmore, he's a very good talent. But yeah, we have the Pakistan versus Ireland game going on as well now. So
yeah, 14 for no loss चल रहा.
कौन बैटिंग कर रहे हैं?
Muniba.
Yeah, so again, I think Pakistan, if they get 130, 140, they'll
and your Javeria.
ऐसा बोल रहे हैं my Javeria. But yeah, I think, huh? So yeah, if they get 131, I was actually impressed with Pakistan the way they played against India. They did bat really well. Aisha Naseem, we were talking about her before the World Cup as the players to watch out for. Again, today if she gets the chance, she might be the difference between the two sides. A very good power player and has a very healthy strike rate as well. अरे भाई KL राहुल साथ ही ओपन करना है वर्ल्ड कप टेस्ट चैंपियनशिप फाइनल में तो बेटर है चले जाए, हम तो नहीं जीत सकते साथ.
ये तो बहुत हार्श है भाई, लेकिन सही भी है, बट नहीं हार्श है थोड़ा मेरे हिसाब से. बट लेट्स जस्ट टेक वन मैच एट अ टाइम मैन. लेट्स नॉट गेट इनटू द फाइनल इनटू आवर हेड राइट नाउ. नहीं पहुंचेंगे फाइनल्स, फिर एक वो अलग ही टाइम आएगा. तो अभी के लिए वो है ऑस्ट्रेलिया को हरा सकता है क्या? ऑस्ट्रेलिया वुमेन्स को हरा सकते हैं क्या पाकिस्तान? आई थिंक
नहीं, इंडिया के बारे में पूछ रहे.
इंडिया में बात कर रहे.
आप बोल दो अंशुल भाई का, बट मेरे हिसाब से इंडिया के बारे में बात कर रहे. देखो मैं ऑक्टोपस नहीं हूं, मगर चांस तो रहता. आई थिंक इफ यू सी द वन टीम ऑस्ट्रेलिया डू स्ट्रगल एट टाइम्स विद इज इंडिया. दैट डजंट मीन दे लूज टू देम एवरी सिंगल टाइम, बट दे हैव लॉस्ट मैचेस. प्रेशर में आ जाते हैं. वो कॉमनवेल्थ का भी अगर मैच देख ले, उसमें भी ऑस्ट्रेलिया वो मैच फंस गया था, उन लोग फंसा के जीते. वो इंडिया का गेम था. तो इन जनरल इफ देयर इज अ टीम दैट ऑस्ट्रेलिया डू kind of like have an issue with it is India. So they can beat them. But one
Yeah,
thing with Australia is in these they have horses for courses. So if it's a slow track, they still have quality spinners. If it's going to be a faster track, they have fast bowlers. They have the batters. They have all rounders. They're stacked in every department. So
yeah,
it will always be tricky. But अगर हाँ like a possibility तो हर वक्त रहेगा. India England भी हरा सकती है Australia को, but India I think has a good chance. If they play to their potential, we have to be better on our bowling to do so. Yeah, 100%. You have to be
yeah.
better in bowling. Even today, there was, especially the spinners, apart from Deepti Sharma, they did leak a few runs and, they didn't pick up wickets also. So I think in that end, you have to improve. Fielding wise, you need to be sharp. You can't give chances to the likes of, Elisa Healy, Beth Mooney, Meg Lanning, and these girls. You can't give them any chances. So you have to be sharp when you play them. But India are on course right now. I think what they have to beat Ireland, and I think they'll qualify for the semis, if I'm not mistaken. Then it's the England game. You'll want to win that England game as well. I'll tell you why. Not just to get confidence and all that, but you have to top the group, and because most likely Australia is topping the other group, and you don't want Australia in the semi-finals. So I think you'll want them in the final. Actually, it doesn't matter. They've beaten them in the semi-finals before. India have beaten Australia in the semi-finals of the World Cup, so I think it's okay. But ideally, you'll want to top the group, go with the confidence, be unbeaten, and then whoever comes in the semi-finals, you play them.
Yeah, 100%. But again, like you, I mean, India has to again win the rest of the game. If Pakistan, what they have to beat West Indies and Ireland, right?
They've all India.
And
No, India have to just beat Ireland, and I think they should be okay. Even if they lose to the England game, they'll come second or first. I think.
Pakistan still has like this match and two more. So yeah, I mean, could
Unless
be close.
Pakistan
Yeah,
beat England, then it can be net run rate.
yeah,
Yeah, but I'm
that's right.
assuming that England will win that game.
So you are an
So
octopus.
I'm assuming, yeah, but like again, I could be wrong.
You never
Pakistan
know.
has
Yeah,
just the way England play. It could be risky at times. There could be an upset over there. Like on paper, they're a very strong team, man. And just like some of
yeah.
their players are incredible.
And अभी आईपीएल का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आया तो सब बताने कि उसमें होंगे तो मे बी दैट इज आल्सो वन फैक्टर but tomorrow the New Zealand and England का test match, how are you know thinking things will pan out like in terms of the pitch movement तो both expected है and like what are your expectations on the wicket and how do you see this match both sides coming in after a good like इंडिया से तो आ रही काफी अच्छी ब्रेक हो गई अभी अगर अपन देख रहे हैं न्यूजीलैंड को and England has been resting since Pakistan, so yeah, what are your thoughts?
I think England have the advantage also because New Zealand are missing some players, man. Like with Trent Bolt, we know that he has the T20 contract, but Jameson
Yeah,
is injured as well. I saw. I'm not sure who's going to be bowling with Saudi. It might be Cougarlane or I don't know. Tickner has been called up as well.
Tickner is
So
there, yeah.
but so it's an inexperienced attack over there, and the pressure will be on them. Whereas England will have Broad and Anderson, who will like these conditions, especially if it's a green pitch on day one, day two. Broad and Anderson will both enjoy that, and that bowling against the England lineup, if they do play baseball and put New Zealand under pressure early on, then it'll be difficult for New Zealand to. I think they're lacking players due to injury. Again, though, if you look at New Zealand side of things, they're playing in home conditions. They do have their batters. Kane Williamson, I think, is back, right? So
Yeah.
he'll be there. Tom Latham, Henry Nichols, these guys do play well in their conditions. So I think it'll be a good contest. But just because of New Zealand's injuries, especially with the ball, I have a feeling England might just nick this series or at least win one game.
Yeah, it's just a two-match series, not a very big thing. Yeah, this was another news that I was reading. But we'll get that to that. The last one that Saibai posted. We have to top the group, guys, because Sri Lanka is coming second in that group, most probably. So that increases the chances for final. Yeah, definitely, we have to top the group. What Mustafa has
But
been saying.
that Sri Lanka game might be tough because
Tough.
they
Yeah,
are on
you
these
got
pitches.
Atapatu, bro.
These spinners are going to be lethal. I think as the tournament wears on, it's going to be even better for spinners. Agar Sri Lanka batting कर ली पहले 130 डाल दिया, it will be a tricky chase. It won't be that easy for India, especially if you're playing on a used pitch. तो उस हिसाब से I don't know. Like I agree. Of course, it's going to be easier than Australia, but I don't know. Just the way the things are panning out right now, it looks like spin-heavy teams have a very good chance in this tournament.
Yeah, and also the way the order is playing, like the Atapatu and the top out उतना बड़ा नाम है वो डब्ल्यू से वारम क्या की है ना ओपनर दूसरी ओपनर जो है
Yeah,
श्रीलंका की and then
yeah.
the Nikashi De Silva in the middle order. The Sri Lanka also has good batting, and yeah, then there's two spinners, Ranavira and the other one have been bowling phenomenally well. So Sri Lanka also won't be an easy opposition. So either way, you top or not top. Obviously, Australia is always the toughest obstacle. So maybe just play Sri Lanka in that aspect of subcontinent rivalry or something. But either way, it's going to be a tough contest to get to the final.
Yeah, bilkul, 100%. It will be, and that England game would also give you an understanding of where you stand, because England is a competitive team and they're probably the second best right now in the world. So if you put up a strong performance against them, it'll give you confidence going into that semi-finals.
Yep, 100%.
But
RCB
yeah,
signed
huh?
Zania Mirza as mentor. You know that?
Yeah. मैं सुबह में फर्स्ट
Yeah,
चीज वही देखा. It came on
yeah.
my feed. वो भी tennis player है. So yeah,
Yeah.
look, I think they signed her as a mental conditioning, or is it like?
वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग कि भाई शी हैज टेनिस का अगर आप देखो ना हाउ शी सॉर्ट ऑफ करियर वाइज कैसा अचीवमेंट्स करें एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट आई थिंक वो थोड़ा इंस्पिरेशनल फिगर एंड देन वुमेन सिंगल वुमेन इंडिपेंडेंस एंड ये वो सब चीजें हैं तो आई थिंक वो
मैंने
बेसिस
पढ़ा
पे
था कि लाइक अब मगर ये टीम स्पोर्ट है, उन्हें इंडिविजुअल स्पोर्ट खेलती है, एंड लाइक डबल्स लाइक इट्स जस्ट वन थिंग हियर, देयर इज अ 11.
चैंपियनशिप मेंटालिटी इनकलकेट करना है आई थिंक
या
दैट इज
मगर क्या है मालूम, मेन चीज ये रहेगा कि just like it'll give the younger girls confidence ki, like a tennis player, Wimbledon winner is there and everything. And for RCB it's also a branding kind of thing. You have Sania
ब्रांडिंग
Mirza on
थिंग
board, right? It's you have Sania Mirza
या
on board, you attract her audience as well. Hum log bhi khush rahenge when we see her on TV, and as such from Hyderabad we have a bias, we support her. So it's a good marketing strategy as well if you look at it, right? But yeah, cricketing wise you can say it doesn't really make sense, but it's about the mental side of the game, just boosting the girls and just having something. And if you look at it from the market, it's a marketing strategy as well. वोक्स
या
टेस्ट नहीं खेलता, टेस्ट का गुड बॉलर, वो इंजरीज की वजह से आई थिंक, ना तो उन्हें खेल रहा था बीच में, ही वाज bowling at times, and now they've got Ollie Robinson, right, Anshul bhai, so they're backing him. He's had some incredible spells. He was so good in Pakistan. We all thought he'd only bowl in English
बाबर को
cricket.
कैसा आउट करा
Yeah,
बाबर को कैसा आउट करा
so he really impressed me. He lost a bit of weight and he's worked on his fitness. अब आई थिंक इन लोग दो बैठेंगे तो फिर वो इन लोग को फिर चांस मिलेगा जो भी है. बट या ये एंडरसन ब्रॉड जब तक है तो फिर मुश्किल है लाइक किसी को चांस देना.
जब तक सूरज चांद रहेगा ऐसा मसला है यहाँ पे
जॉनी बेस्ट पिक नहीं है टेस्ट में, ना ओडीआई में, आईपीएल में एंट्री. भाई उसका इंजरी है तो लाइक आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाई नहीं पिक हुआ उन्हें. he might be fine till the IPL and then he'll play the IPL, मगर उसका भी मेरे को डाउट दिख रहा है. I'm not sure if he's 100% fit, but he had a proper injury, so उसके वजह से वो नहीं खेल रहा. ये ब्रांडिंग मरवाएगी किसी दिन आरसीबी को.
किसी दिन किसी दिन क्या हो रहा है भाई 15 साल से मरवा रही है
Yeah, so already वो हो गया. So if they're looking at other ways as well, right, to keep that fan base together, to continue that support, to make a profit, they have to do these things.
but
Because
like
आप ट्रॉफी
what
तो नहीं
is
जीते 12
I
साल
mean
से.
I don't know I know Vinesh bhai is not here, he's a fan of RCB, but I just wanted to understand like RCB they get all these good players, they've always had probably a weak bowling side, but like, what is it with them, like why aren't they able to finish? Like that's like one thing I don't understand. They always have a
If
good
I could answer that question, I would be the coach of the team, man. But the thing, look, it happens with teams like you take South Africa in cricket specifically, or you're taking PSG, for example. We just recently,
yeah,
yesterday, we saw them perform.
yesterday.
So it happens in with star players and everything. Sometimes you don't get that mix right. Sometimes, like I mentioned with the women's team, what I was telling you is that you have 6, 7 star players, but what about those 4 players who lack that experience? And once you lose 1 or 2 finals, then that thing creeps in. It becomes a mind game also, and you do fear playing in that final at times. So yeah, like look, they were close a few times, and look, in particular that Sunrisers final, RCB were on top, like in the second innings chasing 200. They were favorites to win that match, right? There were 100, what was the score, Fez, in that final in the second
110
inning?
109
For
109
no loss, right? Or for one, something like that. So they were on course chasing, and then ekdam se un log wo, they collapse. So like there's no right answer to this, but yeah, man, RCB has this issue, and but kudos to them, they
Is it
still pack their teams.
hard
Why is
to
it?
understand भाई जब टेनिस का मेंटर बुलाओगे तो क्रिकेट में कैसे जीतोगे आई मीन ये तो वुमेन्स की बात कर बट आइडियली आरसीबी का कुछ तो भी फंडा रहता हुआ एंड दे हैड क्रिकेट मेंटर दे हैड अनिल कुंबले दे हैड सो मेनी गुड कोचेस ओवर द पास्ट इयर्स एंड स्टफ बट आई थिंक वही है कि भाई आई डोंट मिक्स से ज्यादा आई थिंक इट्स अ मेंटालिटी
मतलब
इशू और
देखो,
प्रॉब्ली ईगो
चिराग भाई, मैं आपको मेरे हिसाब से मेंटर का तो लाइक कांट इन्फ्लुएंस द गेम, इन जस्ट माय
like Dhoni was
ओपिनियन.
also yeah Dhoni was
MS
also the
Dhoni,
mentor for
I was just going to say that MS Dhoni was the mentor when the World Cup, but he got knocked out in the group stages, right?
yeah.
So, like, I don't think it's just to like have somebody
Share
there
your
in.
experiences. No, share your
Yeah,
experience and how you have to develop a championship mentality. and like certain
Doesn't
things that a
influence
mentor
the
can
game.
do, it
I
doesn't
don't think
influence the game tactics or
I
anything. Yeah.
don't think yeah he's going to be she's going to be involved in tactics or anything like
It's
that.
just for क्या बोलते हैं अपन वाइब्स के लिए रहते हैं और कुछ भी नहीं रहता
या
वाइब्स.
एमएस धोनी भी लाइक क्या उसके कोई टैक्टिक्स नहीं दिखे मेरे को ना कुछ भी था उसमें आप नॉकआउट हो गए थे सो लाइक इट्स द मेंटर रोल इज जस्ट लाइक मोर ऑफ अ साइकोलॉजिकल थिंग टू कीप देम जीड अप टू हैव लाइक अ गुड मोरल इन द ड्रेसिंग रूम एंड
Exactly.
yeah like they can speak to her like you know just like you have you have a conversation a basic conversation where they're saying that in the Wimbledon final what were you thinking these kind of
Hmm.
conversations can help right काश मेरी टीम में भी लाइक मेंटर्स रहते थे मैं भी एंजॉय करता था बात करता था लाइक आई देयर वुड बी अ लॉट थिंग्स आई वांट टू लर्न अबाउट लाइक स्पेशली फ्रॉम देयर गेम राइट so it's just
Yeah, I
that
think
insight
like,
and you have to
my
understand it's also a marketing thing there is money involved it's not just ऐसी लेके आ गए it's like
नहीं
there is
बिल्कुल. और आई थिंक देखो आप मेंटर रखने का वही पॉइंट है ना कि भाई आगे से आगे अगर सिचुएशन ऐसा आई तो क्या कैसा हैंडल करना है, अगर आप स्ट्रेस्ड है तो कैसा वो स्ट्रेस अपने आप को कंट्रोल करना. So these factors are what a mentor will help you guide, right? Like that. That's how I know, not in a
you can say
critical
though that you just
exactly,
hire a
not
psychologist
in
for this
no, but again that technicality of a sport, like
yeah
sports
I
का
know
environment अलग अलग रहता है ना. उन्हें
sports
आप क्या
psychologist
सोफा बिछा के पिच पे तो नहीं
sports
बैठेंगे. तो
psychologists भी
मेरा
रहते
पॉइंट
हैं बस
हाँ
sports
रहते बिल्कुल. या तो
but
आप
yes, it's that she's won trophies on a professional level and she can share those experiences. It's nothing more than that. It's
nothing
just
more
like
than that.
मेंस में भी
Yeah.
T20 में ड्राविड को बुला रखे था इनके मैनेजमेंट थोड़ा हिला हुआ है
वाह सही है.
मतलब एसआरएच कैप्टन बनेगा मेरे हिसाब से तो मैं ऐसे T20 से पहले से
चैंपियनशिप
बोल रहा
कैप्टन है
हूँ
भाई डेफिनेटली.
केएल राहुल की टीम अगर आईपीएल जीत गई तो बीसीसीआई उसको प्रेसिडेंट बना देगा अंचल भाई कैप्टन तो ये बिना जीता बनाना चाहते हैं हाँ तो
छोड़ेंगे
एंड
भाई खेल रहा हूँ, बुरा लग रहा
केएल
है
राहुल
मुस्तफा
by the way
भाई.
played in that final phase
या
against
ही डिड.
Sunrise. He played in that final. That was a stacked team, and Watson was coming like at 7-8. Incredible. What a win that was. But yeah, get in your comments and questions, guys, and make sure you hit the like button on the stream. We really appreciate your support. We'll keep getting you more content. I think the India test match is on a Friday, so yeah, we'll be live for that. We'll preview the game tomorrow before
Yep.
the Europa League match. So hopefully in the evening, we'll come a bit earlier than today, and we will preview the India versus Australia. We'll have your predicted 11s. We'll talk about the press conferences, and it'll be interesting to see. I don't know if Rohit Sharma will come for the press conference tomorrow. उसको पहले तो स्टिंग के
Yeah.
बारे में पूछेंगे.
पहले तो डाइनिंग रूम देखेंगा ना दिल्ली में क्या है. करीम होटल में जाके बैठ जाऊंगा.
कोई संदेह
करीम
में
होटल
मजाक
में
कर रहा था हाँ? तो संदेह में मजाक
करीम होटल
तुमने
में जाके
खुद
बैठ
बोला.
गया हूँ अभी से उन्हें
He said
but
that.
yeah, unless इंजेक्शन लेने गए पूरे, I don't know. But yeah, सूर्या
सूर्या को
को
एक
एक
मौका.
मौका देना चाहिए. I think yes, it was not a very fair assessment अगर वैसा एकदम से निकालेंगे उनको,
Because what
क्योंकि
happened
उनको
to your ruthlessness approach? He was there as a replacement for Shreyas Iyer. Shreyas Iyer is back fit. It's an automatic swap. That's it. Even if you made 100, I'm telling you, Shreyas Iyer would have played.
yeah, I
That's
guess.
how it is. He's there as
Yeah,
a.
and Iyer ka honestly, like I don't mind him walking in also because he proved himself in Bangladesh. He's proved himself throughout. Like he even played very well there. So and he has changed his intent. He is a better version of Surya in a Test cricket. I would say he plays at a faster rate but doesn't give away his wicket. So मेरे हिसाब से I think that is the only differential factor between Surya and Shreyas. के सूर्या आइडियली हमें मालूम है कि वो विकेट बचा के नहीं खेलते. श्रेयस का क्या है, वो तेज रन रेट से मारता है, तेज स्ट्राइक रेट से खेलता है, बट ही ऑल्सो सेव्स हिज विकेट. तो वो दो डिफरेंस है. और बांग्लादेश में भी उन्होंने जो फिफ्थ में आके हमें जिताया दो टेस्ट मैच 80 और जो मारा उन्होंने ऑड रन्स, that really helped. So I think yeah, Shreyas walks in for me 100%. But just के भाई सूर्या कुमार को अब लेके आके टोपी दे दिए, अब खाली टोपी दे के हाँ बढ़िया कोने में बोलते, वो थोड़ा as a player I understand psychology,
100%. Personally, so he's not going to like be happy
but
about
he'll
it.
have to understand कि भाई this guy has been playing Test
He'll-
cricket. It's like saying कि अगर T20 में अगर आप श्रेयस अय्यर को लाके आपके जगह, like if Surya was out in a T20 match and Shreyas Iyer was playing one match before, and then Surya will walk into a T20 game, right? तो वो एंगल से अगर सूर्या देखे तो maybe he'll understand it.
And if you look at that dismissal from Lyon, there was no second line of defense. He just went straight for the cover drive. If it's going to turn, that's it. You bang, you're gone. Whereas Shreyas Iyer will bring you that second line of defense. He'll have that
Yeah.
block in him as well.
And
He will
if
play
we
fast.
do have a downfall like we saw in Nagpur, then Shreyas Iyer will definitely be the better batsman than a Surya. and
Yeah,
Surya
and
Kumar.
Shreyas will play shots, but he has that second line of defense. He will play the block shots as well. He will leave the ball. He can play attacking
बस
shots
अब
as well.
यही देखना है मुस्तफा के शॉर्ट बॉल के साथ क्या करता है, अगर आई मीन ही नॉट बीन टेस्टेड आउट कंप्लीटली विद द
He
शॉर्ट
won't
बॉल
be
इन द
tested on
रिसेंट
any
टाइम.
pitch. When it's spinning this much, the no one like that's the thing. उन्हें बच
आई मीन
जाएगा वहां
स्टार्क
पे.
स्टार्क पर खेल रहे तो यू डोंट नो, कुछ भी ट्राई कर सकते हो
But
उन
even then, that bounce I don't think will be as threatening
उतना तो नहीं
because
आएंगे, probably come to, but he is a
just
short guy, so I don't know.
in I'm not saying just because it's in India with the wide ball. Yes, I think it'll cause them more problems because there will be in it for the fast bowlers. It'll be a hard pitch, even if it's a flat one, they will manage. But here it's going to be a turner, so I don't know how much
Yeah.
bounce can you extract. But yeah, it'll always be interesting because he has that issue. 1,000 का टिकट ले लो क्या मैच देखने के लिए स्मिथ लाबुशेन बैटिंग देखें सो देख
भाई आपका लास्ट मैच है, आप बोले थे अंशुल भाई से, आई थिंक यू शुड गो फॉर इट मैन.
लास्ट मैच है मतलब
स्टैंड
अच्छा
और पिच का विजिबिलिटी क्या है वो बताना पड़ेगा.
चिराग भाई और अंशुल भाई दोनों दिल्ली में है, नहीं तो यस जरूर जाओ यार मैच देखने. मतलब विराट कोहली, रोहित शर्मा, स्मिथ, लाबुशेन, केएल
केएल
राहुल
राहुल केएल राहुल भाई, चिराग भाई नंगे पांव भागो भाई.
Listen, look, IPL is always fun, but you're watching top
टेस्ट
quality
मैच,
test
टेस्ट मैच
cricketers.
ब्रो.
And these are top quality cricketers. It's going to be a good, whether it's one-sided or two-sided, whatever it is, you're going to see high level of talent and go for it. Trust me, go for it. I've been to
72 किलोमीटर दूर है वो मैन.
अच्छा वो लॉजिस्टिक्स फिर देखना पड़ेगा. अगर आप जा सकते तो ठीक है, अगर वैसा नहीं
वेस्ट हो
अगर
जाएगा अंशुल भाई, स्टैंड से ग्राउंड नहीं दिखता, स्टैंड से ग्राउंड नहीं दिखता मतलब क्या भाई. अच्छा विजिबिलिटी इश्यू है, ओके. वो वाइपर वाले ग्लासेस आते थे, वो डाल दूं कुछ करो. और 72 किलोमीटर अगर दूर है तो आई थिंक थोड़े 4 घंटे पहले का
ट्रैफिक भी वो करना पड़ता है. if it was Canada or something like that I would say go, but it's traffic is an issue in India, right? So 72 kilometers मतलब like 2-3 घंटे की ड्राइव हो सकती है वो. नहीं तो
आइडियली अगर आपको मौका है आप जा सकते हैं, तो मैं ये बोलूंगा क्रिकेट बार टेस्ट क्रिकेट के ऐसा सिचुएशन जहां विराट कोहली, स्मिथ एंड एब्स probably one of the last fewer times that you'll get to see. और अगले साल फिर ऑस्ट्रेलिया चले जाएगा शायद सीरीज, तो when
I've been to a T20 World Cup, 2 Asia Cups, and a few IPL games. Okay, not that much cricket compared to Faiz probably watched much more live cricket than me. But the best game that I went to was one test. I've only been to one test match. India versus Bangladesh. Virat Kohli scored a double hundred. So I'll never forget that. Double hundred मार दिया.
मैं तो हरभजन की सेंचुरी देखा था.
Yeah. But also another amazing game Faiz was Afghanistan Pakistan. This last
पाकिस्तान यार सीटा काट दिए थे भाई, गुस्से में आके पड़ रहा.
मेरी फट भी गई थी, बट क्या मैच था, क्या एटमॉस्फेयर था, मैं नहीं बोल सकता हूँ. वो कभी भी नहीं बोल सकता हूँ. जबरदस्त था वो. मेरे घर से 24 किलोमीटर है. आपको भाई टॉस से पहले पहुंचना है, बिकॉज अगर इंडिया की बैटिंग है तो आपको वहां पे रहना जरूरी है. रास्ते में केएल दिखा तो होना मारो. अगर आपके सामने सेंचुरी मार दिया उन्हें परसों, फिर खत्म. But yeah, I think if you can, you should go for it. It'll be a very good experience. One day also is enough. Like I understand it's not easy to go for a match. So one day, if you can go, why not? Even if you go for a session, it'll be fun. It'll be a good experience. Yeah, but I would say if you're going from 24 kilometers, go for the whole day. Ideally, session में जाके. No, I mean the 30 ओवर देख के आ गए. Commitments है तो फिर उस हिसाब से बोल रहा हूँ. चिराग भाई कोई कमिटमेंट, एक ही कमिटमेंट है, केएल राहुल को ये टीम से कैसे निकालना है. That's his commitment. नहीं सब विराट का होम ग्राउंड एग्जैक्टली. विराट कोहली अच्छा डाला भी था फोटो के, नॉस्टैल्जिया मार रहा उसको, लाइक पुराने यादें ताजे हो रहे. ग्राउंड को जा रहा हूँ मैं बोल के, तो he was a little nostalgic. So it's going to be more interesting what Virat Kohli does in Delhi. It's a home ground and मजा आने वाली है. खाली संडे का टिकट ले लो या मैच खत्म हो जाएगा जब थर्ड डे रहेगा. थर्ड डे तक रह सकते हैं यार, there's a possibility. मगर सैटरडे अगर आप ले सकते ले लो, नहीं तो संडे का ले लो. I think it should be okay. क्या मंडे फिर ऑफिस रहेगा, I think Saturday would be better option. नहीं मगर शाम में it won't last like 4 बजे खत्म आता है मैच. It won't you'll have enough time to go home and sleep. So sold out है पिंडा, अम्मा sold out है. तो संडे का ले लो आप, संडे का ले लो. It's a जुगाड़ करो यार, जुगाड़ करो, मिल जाता कहीं ना कहीं से. It's a decent risk because the third day it should go. I'll be surprised if it finishes in 2 days. You never know in cricket, but yeah, it should go at least day 3. This match also went till day 3, right? So day 3 second session तक गया, so hopefully you'll get to see some. जरा फैंटेसी लगा उस्ताद कल के लिए. इंग्लैंड एंड न्यूजीलैंड के फैंटेसीज क्या है? अच्छा मतलब फैंटेसी पिक्स. हाँ जी,
Jimmy
बताइए।
Anderson, Ken Williamson. Jimmy Anderson, Ken Williamson.
Jimmy, you're going Jimmy Anderson and Kane Williamson. I'll
Yeah,
go.
so conditions.
Huh?
Conditions. Conditions call for Jimmy.
Jimmy Crack Cohen. I will go Ben Stokes, and
Risky though.
I will go Devin Conway because you always pick him. It's my time to pick this guy, Devin Conway.
Kevin
Uh,
Conway is a fantastic player, man. He's amazing to watch. भाई गुजरात टाइटंस ने प्रैक्टिस स्टार्ट कर दिया, सरवाल को भी बोलो स्टार्ट करने। हमारा एसआरएच वाले क्या है कि अभी ऐसे टी20 जीता है क्या एसआरएच, एसआरईसी। अब एसआरएच वाले एक उमरान तो कर रहा होगा कहीं ना कहीं प्रैक्टिस, तो उमरान बस है शायद। बट
नहीं, अभी अभी टाइम है, कर लेंगे
और
स्टार्ट।
कप्तान तो शादी करे साहिब भाई। कप्तान तो अभी शादी करे वापस।
कप्तान अनाउंस ही नहीं हुआ अभी।
गुजरात का
अच्छा,
हार्दिक
गुजरात
ब्रो।
का। हाँ,
क्या हो
हार्दिक
गया
पांड्या।
भाईजान? he redid his vows bro। पूरा
या
नेक्स्ट
बिकॉज
लेवल
ही हैड
वेडिंग
कोर्ट
करेगा।
मैरिज, राइट? सो ही डिड रिसेप्शन।
या
वो कोविड में हुई थी वो तो। इंग्लैंड वर्सेस न्यूजीलैंड डब्ल्यूटीसी का पार्ट है क्या, या है?
नो लाइक आर दे पार्ट इन द मिक्स?
No, no, he's asking, is it a part of the championship? The game will it count
ओह अच्छा
towards?
अच्छा, आई थॉट
Because
इट्स इन द
last
मिक्स।
time England New Zealand was not part of the World Test Championship, the points. So
वाह,
this
डिफेंडिंग
time,
चैंपियंस है न्यूजीलैंड, यकीन नहीं होता। और
yeah,
इतना
maybe.
ऑड ऑड चैंपियनशिप जीते, लाइक यू एक्सपेक्ट हम कि आप टी20 जीतो या प्रॉब्ली मे बी रेंगते रेंगते 50 जीतो, लेकिन यहाँ जाके 360 डिग्री टेस्ट मैच का वर्ल्ड कप जीते, लाइक दैट्स समथिंग लाइक यू नेवर एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम अ न्यूजीलैंड स्क्वाड।
Yeah, but you know that's such a good thing about New Zealand. All three formats they've been very consistent. You can call them chokers, whatever. My 8 trophy to jeet gaye un log, and
या
you never expect them to come into the semi-finals, finals, and they do. They do every single time, whether it's the Test Championship or World Cup, 50 over T20. So उस हिसाब से they always have that thing. Like in Australia we have like Maxwell, Stoinis. In England, you have like Ben Stokes, Butler. In India, Hardik Pandya, Pakistan, Chachu. In New Zealand, you don't really talk about them. Say Williamson ठीक है खेलेगा ये वो, मगर उन लोग लेके आ
उन्हें था
जाते
एक टाइम पे रॉस टेलर था जो बोलते थे कि फोड़ देंगे रॉस, तो पॉज बोल के चलता था।
हैं।
बट
एक टाइम उन्हें
इन द
चैंपियंस लीग
2011 वर्ल्ड कप में याद है, 2011 वर्ल्ड
वर्ल्ड
कप में
कप,
भी
हाँ,
रॉस तो
उसको मगर
पॉज
4 बार
गरम
छोड़ा
हो
कामरा
जाता
नकमल, मैं कभी नहीं भूलूंगा वो कामरा को 4 बार छोड़ा
था।
उसको। वो मैं मैच वो कभी नहीं भूल सकता। आई रियली एंजॉयड दैट मैच। आई
Even
थिंक
the South Africa New Zealand, he smashed in South Africa, man.
yeah. No, but the reason why I'm not rating that is because no, I am rating it, sorry, but I'm also talking about the Champions League. He was killing it. Remember Australia एक
Yeah,
टाइम पे आरसीबी के
yeah,
लिए चिन्नस्वामी
yeah, yeah.
खतरनाक कर रहा था।
RCB नहीं जीते लेकिन, तो I'm just saying, but
एक
yeah,
सेकंड में।
Ross Taylor was one of the most phenomenal players, in the recent times for New Zealand जो था। उसके बाद अगर अपन देख रहे काफी लाइक मुस्तवा सही है। डेविन कॉनवे, फिनालन से बहुत एक्सपेक्टेशन थे इंडिया में। आई थिंक काफी लोग फिनालन के साथ जा रहे थे कि फिनालन परफॉर्म करेगा, बट फिनालन हैज नॉट प्रूवन टू बी उतना लीथल जितना एक रॉस टेलर। कंसिस्टेंसी की बात है, just talking about Finalen and his lack of consistency. There are expectations from him. We know what a big hitter he can be, but he's just not coming to the party yet. And then, yeah, I think Kane Williamson के जाने के बाद there will be a very big void in that number 3 spot. So you really have to start thinking from a New Zealand point of view कि who's going to fill his shoes.
आ जाता कोई ना कोई। जैसे like ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाद they'll manage, I think कोई ना कोई आ जाता। Also Daryl Mitchell, he had a superb series in the
Yeah.
reverse fixture in England in the summer. They lost all 3 test matches, but I think in 2 of those he had hundreds from like out of nowhere when they were like 80 for 4 or something like that. So under pressure he's had some really good innings. Him and Blundell batted really well, I think, in that series, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully he can bring that form back in test cricket, and he can contribute with the bat, and he'll play a crucial part because counter, he has the ability to counter attack, put the pressure back on England, and you're playing in your home conditions, and hopefully he can bring back that same form. It'll be good for New Zealand if he does.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I think like obviously there's going to be someone who's going to come and think, but again they need it as soon as possible, right? Like Ross Taylor को जाके भी काफी साल हो गए, but you still don't find, like they did struggle in India
कई
from
साल
like
हुए समझ रहे तुम?
दो साल तो हो गए उसको जाके।
1 साल हुआ।
शायद कोविड में लंबा दिख रहा था, बट आई थिंक
एक ही साल हुआ नहीं। लास्ट ईयर खेला था उन्हें बांग्लादेश के अगेंस्ट। आई थिंक कोहली इज कमिंग, इसलिए टिकट सोल्ड आउट है।
And also
Yeah,
it's a Saturday. Also it's a weekend and Kohli at the
if it's sold out on Friday as well, I'm interested to know because that's a weekday, right? So I'll
Arun
interested.
Jaitley baby. Arun Jaitley
Yeah,
Stadium.
Virat Kohli at his home ground. I always associate Chinnaswamy as his home ground because of IPL, but it's this is his home ground here. This is where he did the hard yards before he became a famous cricketer. This is where he used to go every day and practice and everything. So he's back in his home ground, and hopefully, he performs well. Also, like the
Yep.
pollution thing, do you think that will affect the day's play? मतलब overs cut होंगे उस हिसाब से. Will that have an issue
देखना
on day?
पड़ेगा. I think it will be about the visibility thing, right? अगर कितना visible है बॉल. अब रेड
If
बॉल
the
है तो मे
problem
बी.
होगा visibility का है तो then it will be a problem.
या या हाँ वही बात करे थे अंशुल भाई हम लोग रॉस टेलर की पाकिस्तान की इनिंग्स में जहाँ कामरान अकमल ने 4 बार छोड़ा लेकिन फोड़ दिया था यार वो. अगर if he got going then he would finish the game. उसकी
Yeah, he
काबिलियत
was
वही.
also a terror on the leg side, man. He just to smash it.
Yeah,
Agar just
his pull shot.
khali,
Yeah.
he was crazy, bro. Yeah, some incredible innings, both for New Zealand and I remember for RCB as well. Ross Taylor was lethal, man. I think that was the time Vinay thought they won the trophy, but I think they lost in the final. That tournament in the Champions League, he killed it. Mr. Ross, the boss Taylor.
बढ़िया
Yeah,
विजिबिलिटी का हो सकता है आई थिंक इशू लाइक यू आर सेइंग बट देखना पड़ेगा कितना है पोल्यूशन फॉग व्हाटएवर व्हाटएवर. अब रेड बॉल है more probably easier if, than a white ball probably to look. I don't know. It'd be
yeah, but when it gets dark, racket becomes more
yeah
difficult.
darker yeah. वही से अब देखना पड़ेगा कि how the players manage. But hopefully we see some good cricket.
Muniba Ali still going strong, but Javeria Khan and the captain Bisma Maroof are out 56 for 2 in 8 overs. So good start, I think, for Pakistan. They'll aim for that 140, 150. If they get to 150, I think it'll be a match winning score. But yeah, don't count out Ireland. They did play well against England. They lost only by 4 wickets. So yeah, that game is also going on. The PSL game started early, right? Like normally it
Yeah.
starts a bit later. So yeah, I'm surprised. जल्दी भी खत्म हो गया because of the जल्दी all out हो गए. लेकिन it started a bit earlier. I think kickoff time was a bit an hour earlier than expected.
Yeah.
But Faiz, so far from the World Cup, which players have impressed you? Like, if you want to talk about individuals that have impressed you and you think have done well.
From India, obviously Jemima's innings really, I failed to see her in the Australia series when I started eventually watching India very consistently. So Jemima's innings really changed a lot of perspective. She looked more mature from that Australian series, and she managed to finish it. From Australia, the Meg Lanning's 49 yesterday, and that she scored against
Hmm.
Bangladesh. Marufa Akhtar, this fast bowler from Bangladesh. Oh my God, she's like a beast, man. अगर आप देखें उसकी bowling even against Australia, back to back, she picked up 3 wickets in her first game. Then Atapatu, उन्हें तो क्या फोड़ रही थी. But yeah, I mean there have been a lot of faces that I've not, I never like used to watch that consistently, but yeah, they're
Hmm.
really picking my eye quickly, and yeah, these are just a few names that come to mind at this point.
For me, one out of the box name was Capsy. I think she batted really well against Ireland. That took me a bit by surprise. And
Alice Capsey, yeah.
yeah, it was like a baseball kind of innings, and it just strengthens England's chances if you can play like that. But of course, then you have your regular names. Richa Ghosh as well. For me, she was outstanding. Probably the player so far to watch out for. But yeah, Ecclestone has been doing
Yeah.
well. You mentioned Meg Lanning
Nat
also.
Xavier.
Huh?
Nat from
Nats
England. Nat
Giver, yeah,
Xavier.
she's been outstanding. Also, Shabnam Ismail, and she's been very accurate and difficult to get away. So there's been some good quality cricket going on, and it'll be a lot of fun. I'm interested to see if the pitches hold up. If they don't, then what will happen? I want to see some big scores at times as well, but I don't mind watching low scoring games. So let's see what happens in terms of the pitch. Tomorrow, Faiz, we'll have the preview of the India Australia.
Preview, baby. That
We'll
I
have
can't wait. It looks like भाई कितने दिन हुए मैच like 2 extra days मिले भाई ऐसा लग
Maybe
रहा है
then
इतना लंबा टाइम हो
next between second and third test, there's a longer break because
गया.
first
Yeah.
match को है
First
तीसरा
match.
test. It's a
Yeah,
longer
first
break.
match.
ये
Yeah.
खाली लंबा देखा because match खत्म जल्दी खत्म हो गया
जल्दी
था, right?
जल्दी हो गया
2.5
भाई.
days में.
ये
Yeah.
and I think जितने भी हमारे लोग देख रहे हैं, I'm pretty sure everyone gonna agree that this is the only test match that they're probably watching ball by ball, 30 overs of each session. फिर एक पौन घंटे की नैप ले लेके फिर उठ जाना, like 45 seconds होना. उठना, फिर 45 मिनट सोना, फिर उठना, फिर लंच खत्म करना, फिर टी खत्म करना, फिर एंड यू डोंट वांट टू मिस अ बॉल, राइट? लाइक there's so much juice in between these sessions that are happening. So yeah, definitely would want to miss it. Root and Williamson में ज्यादा रन कौन बनाएगा? रूट ऑफ लेट थोड़ा ऑफ दिख रहा है, बट आईआईटी 20
नहीं,
खेल के
सवाल पढ़ो फिर से। अच्छा हाँ,
रूट एंड
सवाल ये है,
किसी,
दूसरा है, सॉरी। दो सवाल
हाँ,
हैं।
ज्यादा
ज्यादा
रन कौन बनाएगा? या मेरे हिसाब से आई थिंक घर पे है तो मैं विलियमसन को थोड़ा ज्यादा क्रेडिट दूंगा बनस्पत रूट के, क्योंकि रूट ने रिसेंट फॉर्म में ज्यादा पिकअप नहीं करा है अभी टेस्ट में। इवन पाकिस्तान ही कुडंट मेक रन, सो आई डोंट नो, न्यूजीलैंड इज अनदर काइंड ऑफ विकेट।
हम्म।
रूट एंड केन विलियमसन में किसी की क्लास मस्त लगती है? किसकी क्लास मतलब? मेरे हिसाब से क्लास की अगर बात करें, विलियमसन, बिकॉज द वे ही कैरीज हिमसेल्फ ऑन द पिच, ही नेवर लॉस्ट हिज टेम्परामेंट, एंड कैप्टन वाइज ही इज अ प्रूवन कैप्टन, एंड या मेरे हिसाब से विलियम
All
हैज
formats, Williamson. If you look at Test, Root is right up there. But if you look at all formats, Williamson.
या
और क्लास मतलब आप अगर वो देख रहे हैं तो कैप्टनसी भी उसमें बात कर सकते हैं, एंड देन या विलियमसन इज मोर सक्सेसफुल। लेकिन या आई थिंक आई रियली लाइक जो रूट, आई रेट हिम रियली हाईली इन टेस्ट क्रिकेट, बट विलियमसन प्लेड ऑल थ्री फॉर्मेट्स, so and he, I mean, he plays them consistently, he's played them consistently and done very well in all three formats, and he's won the World
yep,
Test Championship as well as captain, so you have to give it to him there. But that's a good battle, right? Root versus Williamson is going to be an interesting battle. Sadi versus Ben Stokes. The
Anderson.
one common thing with the both close with Brendan McCullum. You know, Tim Sadi is also very close with him. He's played under McCullum. McCullum is going back to
Mhm.
his hometown and coaching, so it'll be fun. It'll be good to see. It'll
Yeah,
be a friendly series, but I think the cricket will have some good quality. Hopefully, if we get play.
100%. Yeah, 100%. And the more exciting part for me, I like to see movement on, like when bowling, and especially Anderson's bowling, man, in England and stuff that we enjoy. I just hope like there's a lot good
Jimmy
movement to see.
Crackcorn, Jimmy Anderson.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
he's
just
in
gonna
control.
be
Charlie
like they
style.
didn't mention it's gonna be a friendly thing, but there will be a rivalry and there'll be some juicy ingredients added to
We'll see,
make this more
baby.
flavorful.
But
So
also,
yeah,
Ben Stokes is from New Zealand as well. Don't forget, he's also from New Zealand. Ben Stokes. He's brought up there,
yes,
born there. His parents are from there and moved to England. So, he's going back to his home country. He knows those conditions well as well. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. To wrap it up, today there's a few football games. We'll talk about the big one, Chelsea versus Dortmund. Your prediction?
I'm gonna say based on the recent form of like Chelsea. I still say Chelsea because I saw some good glimpses of Felix and Modric's income. So I'm gonna go probably a 1-2, 2-1 to Chelsea. I
I'm
think
going to go
that
2
should be
0
nice.
Dortmund. Because I just feel that at home, the like against big teams they've done well. Even against City, they caused some problems for City. I think that game was a draw. City might have just clinched it, but yeah, I'll go Dortmund. And Chelsea, I don't know, man. Even if when they're scoring goals, they're conceding. When they're not conceding, they're not scoring. It's going to take time for them to gel. And the second big game of the day, Club Brugge versus Benfica. Club
Club,
Brugge.
yeah, Benfica will have it easy, probably with all respect to Club Roots, but I hate them because United के against में कुछ तो भी करते हमेशा. So I think I'm just gonna go with yeah, I'm gonna go with the Benfica.
And there's another game going on, Premier League, Arsenal versus Man City
True.
at the Emirates.
Yeah, man. That I would want to say either it should just be like a draw, and United should come back with 3 points. But since this is like an extra game, I think yeah, it'd be better that like Arsenal win if Ron is watching. But ideally, I would want I want City to win because I don't want Arsenal to win the league.
What is your prediction?
My prediction will be a
With the
Haaland
mind.
special. Haaland
Oh,
special.
yeah, आजकल सब वो है एफपीएल, सब एफपीएल सेल्फिश है, खाली वही देख रहे किसी और को लाइफ
Oh
में
my.
चले आते when you play fantasy football.
Yes, India's number one baby in all formats. बहुत जबरदस्त comeback रही इंडिया की, considering
But
like
again, I don't take that, man. Like, आप T20 वर्ल्ड कप से हार गए, ये वनडे आप बांग्लादेश में हारे, अब नंबर वन किसका बनेगा इनका? वर्ल्ड कप जीतो फिर बात करते
मेरा number one नहीं यार, I mean to say
Don't
considering
give
the
me this
facts like the
speech,
number
man.
of number
Don't
of
give me
injuries
this
that have
BS
been there
speech, bro.
around,
You
number of
lost in South
injuries.
Africa in the Test series, lost to England in the last match. I don't take ranking seriously, bro. We give me trophies and then will talk me. Don't take rankings seriously. First, trust me, don't take it seriously, bro.
I'm
Otherwise,
not
you'll be
taking
sick,
rankings,
man.
bro. I'm just saying it the new year has started on a good note. Let's just continue it. We won two series back to back, Sri Lanka and New Zealand. rightfully T20 and one days. I know I'm not even looking at the rankings. I'm just saying in terms of injuries and stuff. At least we're looking up from those things. Hopefully, form picks up of a few players that I won't name anymore. And yeah, I think it's just a good start to the 2023, and hopefully going into the World Cup, we'll still be number one.
You win the Test Championship and you win the World Cup, then you're number one in my eyes. So yeah, best of luck, and thank you for joining, everybody. We really appreciate it. And just to take one last comment, India में टेस्ट सीरीज जीतने और टीम को क्या करना चाहिए?
विनर्स को पैदा करना आप
Also,
सैम को लाना था, आप कितने की प्लेयरों को लाइक लाना खैर देखना
no,
पड़ेगा.
like England won like with two spinners with Monty Panesar and Graham Swan. Look, you need to have a high quality spinner, which Australia do, but in these conditions, is struggling. Also, you need a batter who can attack, counter attack properly, and play long innings. Like
एलेक्स कैरी है वो तो उसमें मेरे हिसाब से एलेक्स कैरी में है थोड़े ग्लिम्पसेस.
I'm talking
बट
about
वो
Kevin
जो
Peterson
मैट
level.
रेंशॉ लाए तो मैट रेंशॉ क्या करेंगे यार इंडिया में आके.
No, but like you need like Smith, Labuschagne, both. But like how Kevin Peterson batted in Mumbai that match.
Travis Head could be that guy, but again spin से थोड़ा problem है उसको.
Yeah, let's see. But yeah, you need a counter-attacking batter. You need to take your catches, especially with the spin. When the spinners are on, you have to be alert. You have to take all the chances. You can't give India chances. And yeah, like it's not easy. It's always tough to win away from home. It took India a long time to win in Australia, right? So it's not easy to win in any conditions. But there are certain teams who have won series in India, and you just need to learn from that and see what happens. But thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Thank you, Fez. Really appreciate your contribution today. I will catch you tomorrow for the preview. Until next time, everybody, take care and have a good rest of the night.